Greetings, welcome, welcome everyone. Um, you know, um, I wanna, I wanna talk about, I wanna talk about finding yourself in this journey of spirituality, and but mostly I wanna focus on how people around you, right, who will, who we mostly call them the living dead, the ones who are asleep, right? How they just don't understand, right? They just don't understand in such a way that um not that they don't understand you, though they keep trying to understand you, and they just can never understand that they can never really understand you if you are walking on righteousness, if they cannot understand or seek to understand God first, right? They just they can never really get to there. They can never really get to that point, right? If you already walking on your godly path and people are out here trying to figure you out, they're gonna have a hard time, right? But I believe if they are doing the work as well and they are walking a righteous path, it wouldn't really be hard for them to understand you because you guys are gonna be walking a relatable path, right? Now, it's like you would see how people are trapped in a loop and in these low vibrational states, right? These low dimensions, like hate, you know. And like I at some point I used to think that everybody who goes to church have like some sort of a righteous mindset, you know. And as I was going through experience, I realized no, that's not the case. You know, you still have people who go to church who have the ability to hate and hate very well, right? Because you know, amongst the commandments, there's the one that says do not hate. Why? Like all of them, they all impact the structure of Christ or the structure of being of walking the righteous path. But you have these ones. I'll just pick up one because they're just all important as they are, right? But I'll just pick one, which is do not hate. You know, it only came to make good, very, very, very good sense to me that the reason why God tells us these commandments is that He's He's everywhere at once, right? And you just cannot, you can never know where he's coming from or where he is sometimes, right? So he tells us that we should even love our own enemies. It tells us that we should even love those who hate us, those who seek for our demise, right? That on its own should be able to show you the scale of commitment you must have when walking a godly path, right? Like love even those who hate you. Okay. Now with these people who lack understanding, you will realize that you do not hate them. You do not wish anything bad to them. You have no form of bad intentions to them. You have just no bad energy sent to them, right? but you would find them hating you for no reason. Okay, you would find them hating you for no reason, and by so doing, it even proves how they are lacking understanding, because you know they imagine, like I already said, you can never imagine you hating on somebody who's not even a hinderer in your life, who's not even a troublemaker in your life. He's not causing you any form of trouble, and in your mindset not have any form of fear that what if God is actually using this person as a test in my life, right? What if God is actually, what if God has this person in my life as a trap? Like they can never really get the glimpse of that thinking, right? And you ask them, why do you hate me? You'll never get a solid, reasonable answer, right? They just hate you. They just don't like you. And it's like it is spoken of. It is spoken of. I don't. I'm not sure about the book. The chapter, but um, it says, because the world hated me, it'll hate you too. Because you get to a point where, because we are vessels, right? We, we are vessels, right? So we get to host God, right? We get to host him. We get to be his hosts. Hence why in the Bible sometimes he's called the God of hosts, right? So these people do not even understand that, okay, you can actually accommodate God in the form of the Holy Spirit, right? You get to accommodate God. Now, imagine imagine coming against God and you do not know that you're coming against God at that time, at that moment. Because it shows us that he can come as anybody, as anything, as any, he can show up in any form, ladies and gentlemen, right? Even in an animal form. I believe he can still show up in an animal form, right? So you got these hateful people who just don't know God, but in most cases, still, it's people who are quite very committed to their churches, and you just look at them and you wonder, but then you're just so hateful. And in most cases, imagine this, right? Now, this is the worst case scenario for me. Imagine being hated by your own parent. And mind you, you're like, I know. Because I never thought that by becoming the best version of yourself can actually make your parent hate you, right? Now imagine being hated by your own parent. Like I would say this. I would say I understand if your parent hates you and you are a troublesome child, but still, it's not something to bake yourself up with, right? But imagine you're just a child, but your own, you see the hate, and it's not gonna be an obvious hate. It's gonna be the type of hate that you need discernment to see it, right? Because they're gonna treat you like, look, we love you. Oh, why would you think that? Right? But when you remove the veil and look closer, you're gonna realize that your own parent hates you, right? And it's like, wow. There's a verse I once came across in the Bible, I forgot in which book is that, where it was talking about how does a woman who has felt labor pains for her own child, not have remorse towards her? Okay? How does a woman who has felt labor pains for her child not have remorse for her, not have love for her, for him or her? Okay? And it's like some of this hate, you just have to discern it. Because, mind you, again, we live in a world that's full of fakeness, full of pretense, full of two-faced people, right? Some of this hate doesn't come as obvious as you think it would. It's the type of hate that's hidden, that you're gonna need your spiritual goggles to be able to discern that hate and pick it up. And it is also, you can put up the walls of your heart so you can guard your heart. Because, ladies and gentlemen, hate goes side by side with envy, okay? Together with despise, with you know, it grows and it turns into bad intentional energy, right? Because you can't tell me that somebody who hates me cannot think of plotting anything bad, right? And sometimes these people, they just hate you, but like, what's crazy is that they would still want you around. Like, they want you around them. It's almost like you are some sort of how can I put it? Some sort of a possession that helps them hate something, which is you, right? It's like it feels, they feel good when they got you around who they can hate and point fingers at and pass these remarks, and sucker punch you with words and all these stuff, that you're gonna be looking at them from the God side of you, and you're gonna be looking at them like, God, they don't know you, right? They don't know you. They are lost. They got problems. They are hurt within. You can just see right through them, right? Now this is all. It's energy sapping, right? Living among such people, okay? Because I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have time to hate anybody. Those that I see they hate me, I just reject myself. I stay away from the hate. I see envy, I stay away from the envy. You understand? I just move aside and be like, pass, sir, pass together with your hate. Let me be on my way. Right? Anyway, that was just a word for today. Right? That you see how much people are just lacking understanding, and it's like it goes quite very deep, right? Now stay prayed up, stay meditated, be blessed. Peace.